Welcome to the Vortex.
Good afternoon, my name is Dr. Mattie Klare. I welcome you to the show, Welcome to the Vortex. And my special guest, Wynn is here today again. Welcome him. He is the author of the book of Edgar Cayce's Reincarnation. We talked about it in the last shows. And he is constantly receiving the messages via his helper mediums, voices coming from the universe, from Elohim, and talking to him. Daphne and Terry, who we introduced in other show as well already, they are channeling and talking those voices to him. And my question to Wynn today, having him back, nice that he came, and an honor to have him again. My question today very specifically goes in that direction. What to do with that? What's going on?
Well, that's a very good question. I was wondering that myself for a while. Here I'm having these voices talk to me, and they're explaining all these stuff, and I'm wondering, well, how does this benefit people? How can we benefit people with these voices? And as we explained in the other shows, but I should probably reiterate it, that the voices that have been communicating to me, and when I say talking to me, they're not in my head. Other people, they speak through other people around me, and they channel. And this happened quite spontaneously. They looked for me. I didn't look for them. And you know, through two people in a row, I have a voice coming through saying they're the Elohim. And I looked up the word Elohim. It says the creator God of this realm, the God of the Old Testament, and I asked them if that was the same Elohim, and they said it was, and I didn't really believe them, but I didn't not believe them. I said to myself, I'm just going to have these conversations and make tapes, and one day I'll figure out what to do with it. Well, I was writing the book at the time these conversations started. And when I would go give a lecture on the book, I would initially only focus on the book. But I would notice that every time I would talk, the room would fill with light energy. And the people in the room would come out and they would buy the book and say to the person who was selling the book, I could see auras in the room. I could see purple around Wynn. What were those funny lights around you? And so it wasn't just my perception. Other people were having this perception. And in fact, I went to a metaphysical bookstore called Eastwold, and I did a book signing there. And people came up and said, I go to every lecture here, and I have never seen so much light in a room. Now, I know it's not me. I'm just a grumpy old man, and you know, some days I feel good, and like everyone else, some days I'm having bad days, and no matter whether I had a good day or a bad day, this light was in the room. Well, I'm having conversations with this Elohim voice, and I'm asking them all these questions, and I wasn't really talking about them very much at this time. I was just talking about the book, because I said, no one is going to take the book seriously if I start talking about my friends all channeling while I'm writing the book. But the Elohim, here's a question. How can an individual have some personal experience? They are really having a connection with an interdimensional source such as the Elohim. What are the physical signals and evidence that would confirm they're having a connection? And this was their answer. There can be a light appearing to the individual, surrounding and providing a loving space around the individual. It's a love light surrounding the individual which the individual can sense. That is one of the first signs of a connection. And so then I asked them, I said, you know, whenever I give a talk, there's this light in the room that people keep seeing. And they said, that was us. We're just giving you support. So then I said, how can I work with this? This is amazing. I show up somewhere and there's this light energy in the room. And I started asking questions about, well, what is the benefit of having light energy? Okay, what does that mean? Well, there's a number of benefits. And for some of you listening, maybe this is the first time you've heard that term, light energy. Light energy could be another way of saying good vibes. Do you ever walk into a room and feel good vibes? Good vibes is light energy. Well, when there's that energy present, there's something that usually happens inside you that you start feeling uplifted and buoyant. And that's the personal experience. It also becomes a reference point because many people have never experienced much light energy in their life. So when they walk into a room and they feel that energy, they go home and they say, how do I feel that more of that? And so it makes them start reaching for something that they didn't know existed. And of course, it does help sell books because when you read the book, many people that are reading the channelings in the book start having this energy while they're reading the channelings. And then they told me that they're paying attention to the people reading the book, and that if somebody is open, they're not scared, they will make a vibratory connection with the person while they're reading their channelings. So what's happening is you have the opportunity to make a connection with a source of energy that is outside of this realm. And one of the positive things about making that kind of connection is that when you die, if you have managed to learn to hold that connection will continue when you leave this planet. And that's a good thing because it means your future lifetimes will probably have a more positive aspect to them when you have a connection with a huge light source such as the Elohim or the Ra group or both. And the other advantage of this kind of connection while you're in a physical body is that in addition to your own body feeling good, that energy is going into the earth. And the earth has a consciousness. Mother Earth. The Indians especially worship the earth. And according to all our channelings, the earth has been abused. That most people are disconnected from the earth. They don't realize it's alive. They mine oil from the earth. They do underground explosions. There's all kinds of ways. When there's a war going on, apparently the consciousness of the earth really is hurting. And the earth can compensate. It can get mad. And when it gets mad, it can create disasters and earthquakes and all kinds of stuff. So it's not good to have the earth mad at us. When you bring in this light energy, it goes through your body, and then it goes down into the earth. And the earth suddenly says, wow, they're appreciating us.
Thank you.
Thank you, right. And if enough people in an area start doing this, that area can have a certain degree of protection. So what we started doing, and this was an experiment, we did something which I called a grid healing, where we had a number of people on the phone line, and then we made a group energy. And what I found was that not only could the Elohim and Ra work with people in a room, but if people were on a phone line and I asked for them to come present and everyone wanted that, they would work with the people on the phone line. And people could feel the energy over the phone. And so we started experimenting with it. It was an experiment because I'm not sure what to do and how to work it. I'm being very careful, and I'm also, I don't want to do anything negative. I want to make sure everything has a positive outcome. So we started out having conference lines on the phone.